Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
Robinhood did have a third quarter profit beat. Net income up 271% to $556 million. Crypto revenue, however, did fall short of estimates. That was even though it jumped 300%. So the market was expecting quite a bit there. But Robinhood shares a little bit softer after hours. Let's get more now. Bring in Bloomberg Tech co-anchor Ed Ludlow in San Francisco. Ed.
Yeah, thank you, team. And believe it or not, you find me downtown at an in-person earnings call of all things, where not just the institutional sell side participates, but the institutional buy side, the retail buy side, and Robinhood's customers. They all got to pose questions to Vlad Tenev, Robinhood's CEO. There's a lot of emphasis on October. Strong third quarter, got that. October. So I think the best place to start is take us through the lens of your customers. What was happening in October? The underlying trends, the behaviors that you're seeing.
I mean, first of all, thank you for being here with us in person to celebrate retail investors being a big part of the financial markets. October has been a continued strong month. I think you noticed Q3 was particularly strong, record net deposits, record trading revenues, revenues across the board. Prediction markets have also been on fire. Right. So what you're seeing is continued sustained engagement powered by the Robinhood flywheel, more customers, deeper engagement, more gold subscribers, bringing more assets, and the trading volumes have continued to increase as well. So it's just been strong across the board, I would say. There's not one area that's particular outlier, but continued strength across the board.
Markets are a tailwind for Robinhood, right? And so my question is, what is and where is the natural embedded hedge if markets turn on you, change direction? What happens?
It's a good question. And we try not to get so hung up on output metrics like trading volumes.
Right.
Because trading volumes, as we've seen in the past, do tend to fluctuate with market activity. That said, what we look at is our market share. And we know that, even though trading volumes can go with markets and can go up and down, long term, we're huge beneficiaries of both the growth in the US economy and also the generational wealth transfer, where north of 100 trillion of assets and wealth is going to be handed down from older generations to younger generations. These younger generations are folks that are digitally native, tech savvy. They don't particularly want to do their finances at brick and mortar institutions in person. And they really value user experience and cost. And so I think we track our market share, which has been growing pretty much across the board, across every asset. We're now up to $1/3 trillion in assets held at Robinhood, right, which has been extraordinary in terms of growth as well. And then there's these secular tailwinds of, the U.S. economy still remains the hotbed of innovation. It's the epicenter of AI, electric vehicles innovation. And I think young people are going to be the generation inheriting all of this wealth. So Robinhood's really at the center of this.
Of young people and generation that's driving what you're seeing in prediction markets. I don't want to recount the data too much though, but just in the month of October, contracts and predictions have eclipsed what you did in the entire third quarter. So maybe talking about some of the underlying trends and activity will give us a better understanding of who's driving it and what's happening.
Yeah, that's right, Ed. I think the interesting thing about prediction markets is it rounds out the offering and sort of completes the time at which Robinhood customers can continue to engage with the platform. For a while, we were offering predominantly U.S. equities, which was very much a U.S. East Coast working hours type of event. Markets are open, 9 to 4 East Coast hours. And then we've expanded that over time with us introducing 24-hour market. We've added crypto. And now prediction markets, a lot of the events, particularly in sports, are happening nights and weekends. So Robinhood is becoming increasingly a 24/7 platform where you can trade and invest in global markets at at all times of the day. And I think our customers do tend to be digitally native and quite savvy. That tends to lean younger. But we also have customers that are, in their 70s and 80s. And as long as you're comfortable doing your finances on a mobile device and you want to be at the frontier of technology, I think it's something that transcends just young people. Of course, we always want to be relevant to the next generation, but Robinhood, I feel like you should be at a disadvantage if you're using any other platform. I think that's increasingly the case.
Your competition is sleeping on this a little bit, right? That you think you can build the financial super app for an entire family, multiple generations, to participate in different products and categories. Why have you got an advantage in going after that?
Well, I think that nobody has our combination of product depth and product velocity. So we have a lot of products. We still have a huge amount left to build, but if you think about what we offer now, I think we have the best banking product out on the market that's being rolled out. I think we have the best credit card with 3% cash back on all categories that just passed 500,000 cardholders and $8 billion in annualized spend. We've always been strong across investing and trading, and now retirement as well. $25 billion of assets that customers are entrusting with us in retirement accounts at is a big number, and this is like very serious long-term money. I think we have the best digital advisor with Robinhood Strategies, where every other advisor charges you more the more money you have on the platform. Robinhood Strategies inverts that model, and once you get to 100,000 managed, everything above that has no management fee. So the incentive is actually to grow with us, and we want to make it a no-brainer to have all of your assets onto Robinhood.
This is very much targeted at the individual. You have a 10-year plan where within 10 years you want more than half of revenue to come from the institutional side and from international markets, not just the United States. So what's the roadmap to get there?
Yeah, I think that somewhat paradoxically, you might not expect this, but
that's
the
why
roadmap,
I ask, it is paradoxical.
Well, the roadmap is really continuing to build for retail for the time being, because when we talk to our institutional potential customers, actually a lot of them are in this room, and they've come up and they said, we would love to use you guys for an institutional offering. They might be using a legacy provider where they can't trade 24/5, or they're not getting good stock loan rates, or the margin rates are not good. And pretty much nobody has a unified offering between crypto and traditional assets, which I think is being increasingly valuable. So the things that we're offering to retail, rock bottom margin rates, great user experience, 24-hour access to all markets, are things that institutional wants as well. And I think for the time being, we're in this great position. We have so much to do on retail that we want to stay very focused for that. But we have been building out our institutional business with Bitstamp, which is now, was the 10th business line to get to above 100 million in annualized revenue. Prediction markets being the 11th. So I think before long, you'll see that really continue to accelerate and become a bigger chunk of what we're offering.
Vlad Tenev is the Robinhood CEO, and as he just pointed to, prediction markets also hit 100 million annualized revenue, and I think run rate wise 300 million. There's a lot of focus on that right now.